It is a psychological thriller movie. A person named Seth was seen at the beginning of the movie. He has just woken up from sleep. Seth was a lonely man. He had neither family nor friends. His only friends were those pets whom he used to work on. Seth used to work in an animal control department. This guy's life only evolved around his duty. After his regular schedule, he didn't have anything to do. He wasn't a social person either. One day after finishing his duty, he was going back to his house by bus. At that moment, he saw his high school classmate on the bus. Her name was Holly. She was a very pretty girl. He liked her. While he introduced himself to her, she was writing a journal. Holly doesn't remember Seth. Seth even then tries talking with her. She doesn't show much interest. He offers her coffee. She denies it and says she is a waiter at a restaurant and she already has a boyfriend. He still tries to talk ahead, but Holly doesn't give him scope, and she stops at the next stoppage. He was disappointed. Seth searches for Holly on social sites. The next day, like any other day, Seth goes to work early in the morning. At work, he was seen having a conversation with his coworker and the guard of the place, named Nate. He wants to know from Nate how a girl can notice him, so Nate suggested he go straight forward, as most girls like straightforward guys. Seth got the order to bring the dog, Lexi. It was a German Shepherd. It was sick for quite a while. Seth loved it a lot. When he had brought the dog to the doctor was about to kill it with an injection. The reason behind its killing was that it had been sick for quite a long time, and it was also increasing expenses. The doctor had given him the option that if he could take care of Lexi, he could take him home. But how can he take care of the dog? He doesn't stay at home, and there's no one else to take care of it. He gives permission to push the injection. Lexi dies after some time. Seth takes the body and burns it behind the animal control room. After burning Lexi's body, Seth observes something weird. He finds a basement behind the empty cell of the animal. He didn't think much for the time being. By going back home, he again searched for Lexi. He finds out her information. He found the address of the restaurant where she was working. He even makes notes on her likes and dislikes. He notes down every single thing about her. Next day, Seth goes for lunch to the restaurant where Holly works. Here, once again, Holly refuses to recognize Seth. Seth once again offers her an outing, and this time it's for a music concert. Holly becomes furious. At night, after finishing her work, when Holly was going back, she could sense someone was following her. It was no one else but Seth. Seth followed her to her house. Holly went inside the building, and after entering the house, she told her best friend Claire about what had happened to her all day. At that very moment, her boyfriend also called. Being under the influence of alcohol, her boyfriend was saying nonsensical things to her. She was totally fed up. At first, someone ruined her morning, then followed her, and now her boyfriend's stupid utterings. She cut off the call and started talking with her friend Claire. The next day, at the restaurant, someone sends a bouquet of flowers to Holly. She at first thought it was her boyfriend, Eric. He might have sent them to apologize to her for yesterday's behavior. In the evening, she meets Eric and asks him about the flowers. Eric denies that. This made Holly understand it must be a work of Seth. Seth was seen following Holly over here. He meets with Holly and asks her for a date. Holly is totally frustrated with him now. Holly's boyfriend Eric beat him up, and even after all this, Seth finds the journal of Holly. It was that journal that Holly always carried. She used to write everything in detail in that diary. Seth started reading that journal after reaching home. He started getting to know more about her. He finds out a major secret about Holly from that diary, which shocks him. The very next day, Seth went to his office much earlier than his regular time. He prepares that cell very finely. He was building it in the place that he had found out the previous day. He even stole an injection, which can help paralyze animals. To test the authenticity of the medicine, he tries it on himself. After some time, his body goes into a paralyzing state. The scene shifts to the next night. He goes after Holly again. Holly went to her apartment, but this time it was empty. Taking this opportunity, Seth pushes that injection into her and kidnaps her. After kidnapping, he takes her to animal control. So that no one could understand, he put her in a box, which is used for carrying animals. Nate observes this, but Seth lies to him and gets away from him. He takes Holly to the place he had prepared. He had made a huge cell for humans. He keeps Holly over there. When Holly wakes up, she finds herself over there. She was puzzled seeing herself in a cage. She tried to open the lock, but in the process, her nails started falling off. She screamed for help. But as it was in the basement and there was a dog barking, her voice couldn't reach outside. The next morning, Seth comes and gives Holly a metal pot for toilet use. and he also gives her some food. Seth makes her remember his name. He again went away from there. Seth doesn't go back to Holly for around 2 to 3 days. When Seth goes back to see Holly, he finds her unconscious. He makes her drink water from a bottle, and he leaves again. While he was leaving, Holly put a hold on his leg to stop him, but he still went from there. Holly was in that cell, all by herself with no one around. Holly sees Claire over there, but it is only her illusion. Holly didn't want to use the pot, but for toilet purposes, she had to use that. And something happened at that time. A rat came and started biting Holly's feet. Holly was scared for a moment, but later she crushed that rat with her feet. A mystery indeed. The scene shifts to Seth coming back to meet Holly. Holly asks him if he wants to kill her. Seth says he doesn't want to kill her, but if it is necessary, he will kill her. He had fallen for her on the very first sight. He won't do her any harm. When he went back, Nate caught him. Nate had sensed something fishy over there, and Seth's continuous going was making it confirmed. But Seth again escaped by lying to Nate. The next time Seth comes to meet Holly, he brings that diary in which she was keeping her journal. He asks about Claire. But Holly doesn't say anything, and now Seth starts speaking. Hearing his words, even Holly was shocked. Actually, Holly was sick. The character Claire, whom she thought was her best friend, was nothing but her own imagination. Seth reads out her diary. In reality, Eric and Holly were engaged back then. From Eric's phone, Holly found that her friend Claire and Eric were having an affair. She couldn't tolerate this and took Claire on a ride with her. She intentionally sped up the car and made it crash. Although the injury wasn't heavy, Holly took broken glass and pushed it inside Claire's eyes. Holly shouts, saying Claire is only a fictional character, and all these are made-up stories that she has written in her diary. Seth says he also had thought that, but to clarify, he went to the police station and investigated Claire's case. He knows the truth, and he also knows that she has killed many other people. She burned some people, stabbed some, and many more. He got her over here so that she doesn't do this anymore and can escape from the police. Seth goes from there. After Seth left, Holly could see Claire once again. Claire and Holly talk for some time. The next day, when Seth comes back, he finds something unusual in Holly's behavior. She was cleaning her body, and when Seth asked her about the murders, she started banging her head on the cell instead of answering. This made her injured and lose lots of blood. This time, Seth hasn't given her any food for quite a long time. Holly asks for food from him, but he refuses to give her food. Then Holly talks to him sweetly. She also tells him she might be falling in love with him. By listening to her words, he goes to get some snacks for her. When he went outside, Nate saw him. Nate went inside that place and saw Holly in the cage. Holly asks for help. Nate tries to open the lock and help Holly. But before that, Seth reaches there. Holly instigates Seth to fight with Nate. She also guides him in killing Nate. Seth hits Nate with a huge box, which makes Nate fall down and die. Seth gets panicked, but Holly guides him about how to hide the body and not get found out. As per Holly's command, Seth destroys Nate's fingerprints and even breaks his teeth. He cuts Nate's body and feeds it to the dogs. Seth made sure Nate's trace wasn't found anywhere. He did everything so that it was impossible to even find his DNA. As Nate was missing for 2 days, the police came to search for him. They found Seth the most suspicious one. They even warned Seth during the investigation that Seth is the prime suspect. According to them, Seth is so much more worried hearing that. He goes to Holly. Holly gives him comfort. Holly tells Seth that he doesn't love her. If he had loved her, he wouldn't have kept her there. As proof of his love, Holly wants a finger of Seth. Seth gets shocked hearing that, but to prove his love, he cuts off a finger of his own. Though he was in immense pain, it was a way of expressing love for him. Taking the chance, Holly took the knife from him and started cutting her throat. She said she will kill herself if he doesn't let him go. Neither she will be alive, nor the love of Seth. Being afraid of her threat of harming herself, he frees Holly from the cage. Holly comes out and starts talking sweetly with him. Hearing such words, Seth assumes Holly has started loving him. But Holly was just looking for an opportunity to come out. She started cutting Seth's throat by using that knife. After slitting his throat, Holly leaves from there. And all this while Claire was with her, but in reality, there was no one. There was a lapse for some time. After some months, Holly is seen with her boyfriend, Eric. Holly's fictional story, which she was writing in her journal, was also published by then. Eric was still cheating on her. Holly was seen going to a warehouse after leaving her apartment. A cage was in that place. There was a very creepy-looking guy inside that cage. His one finger was cut off. It means it wasn't anybody else but Seth. His situation was worsened so much that it was almost impossible to analyze whether it was he or somebody else.